This video is for you if you're struggling with addictions and bad habits, or if you have an addictive personality like I do, or you're overweight and you want to get in shape. This video is what I wish someone told me when I was younger and struggling, because I used to, and I still do, have a very addictive personality. If you watch until the end of this video, I'm also going to talk about the current bad habits that I'm replacing in my life. First, you need to understand that bad habits are 100% natural. I used to be addicted to alcohol, cigarettes, drugs, and cutting myself with a penknife. Pornography, binge watching Netflix, overeating. What I realized is that we are just like lizards because we have a reptile brain. And what this means is that we are governed by pain and pleasure. Just like lizards, they run towards food and they eat a lot of food when they find it, and they run away from predators. It's the same thing with human beings. We run away from pain and discomfort, and we run towards pleasure today. That is what the reptile brain is all about. It's instant gratification. And this actually illustrates the 3 stages of any habit. The first stage is we feel bad. The second stage is we do the habit. Either we do something or we consume something. And the third stage is because of what we did or what we consumed, we now feel better. And this applies for both pain and pleasure. What this means is that if we're facing discomfort in our lives, we do the habit to have less discomfort, to have less pain. But sometimes, oftentimes, if we are also feeling good, we still do that habit to feel even more good. So either to reduce the pain or to increase the pleasure, habits are why we do things. And habits exist because 1, our reptile brain is always chasing pleasure and running away from pain. And 2, because our minds are lazy. So we're always going to do the fastest way to get pleasure and to avoid pain. This is why it's 100% normal to have an addictive personality. Now, the problem with addictions, the reason why we call addictions bad habits, is because if you zoom out and you look at the other impacts on other aspects of your life, and if you zoom out and look beyond just now and today, if you look at the consequences tomorrow and your future, there are more harms than good for your health and happiness if you do a certain activity or take a certain substance. That's why we call them bad habits. And the key is basically to replace these bad habits with good habits, or to replace good habits with even better habits. And in this video, I use the word habit and addiction interchangeably because essentially it's the same thing. If you found this video helpful so far, it would really mean a lot to me if you click on the like and subscribe button so that more people can see these videos. Now I'm going to share with you the 3 hacks that helped me overcome my addictions to alcohol, cigarettes, drugs, shisha, cutting myself, pornography, overeating, and overconsuming Netflix and social media. How I replaced those bad stuff with good stuff like working out regularly, journaling, reading, writing, eating healthy. 1, realize that you cannot destroy habits. You can only replace them. And same thing, you also cannot just add habits. You've got to remove some if you want to add some. And this means that you have to ruthlessly identify the sources of pleasure and pain in your life. It doesn't have to be actual pain, it could be discomfort. Realize that when there's a notification sound on your phone and you pick up your phone to find out what that notification was about, you're getting dopamine. That is a source of pleasure. So yes, when you're scrolling on social media for 5 minutes, that becomes 15 minutes, that becomes 30 minutes, becomes 1 hour, that is pleasure, that is dopamine. The reason why you want to be ruthless in identifying the pleasure and the discomfort in your life is because if you're already getting a lot of pleasure, which is dopamine, from unhealthy sources, then you naturally will not have the drive or the willpower to get these pleasure and dopamine from healthy activities. That is why you cannot just add healthy habits. You also have to reduce or remove the bad habits you have in your life. At the end of the day, your body is very, very intelligent. It will get its fix of dopamine and serotonin. I used to be addicted to smoking cigarettes, and how I was able to finally quit smoking cigarettes is because of cold showers. I realized that the hardest cigarette to give up was the first, or that 1 cigarette per day in the morning, because in the morning the alarm clock rings, I'm going to university, it's very early, I'm cold, I'm lazy. I was looking for that jolt of energy in the morning. But when I realized, when my friend recommended me to take cold showers, I started feeling good from the cold shower, and that was enough to make me not need that feel good from that first cigarette in the morning. Does that make sense? So essentially, the time when I needed to feel good, I was able to find a replacement. That morning cold shower replaced that morning cigarette. The second hack I have for mastering habits is that you have to cultivate grit every day. What is grit? Grit is basically your ability to handle discomfort, to tolerate pain. Discipline, willpower, these are the other names of grit. But this is the only way for you to overcome the reptile brain. If you have more grit, you have more control over habits. If you have no grit, then you have no control over habits. And the thing about grit is that there's no substitute to this. There's no shortcut. It's something that you have to cultivate every single day. This is why for me, in my life, maximizing the daily discomfort that I voluntarily consume is a big part of my lifestyle. Working out fasted, preparing healthy meals, breath work, ice baths, sauna, spearfishing, journaling, writing, recording content. These things train my willpower to do uncomfortable things. And this is also why fitness is the main daily practice of many successful people. And the third hack is this: change the people and environment in your life. The truth is that most people, they are slaves to the reptile brain. And what this means is that they do everything they can to feel good now. And what this means is that they are slaves to their habits. They don't control their habits. And therefore, consciously and subconsciously, your friends and family will do and say anything to keep you in the current state you're in with the current habits that you have, because they also want to stay stuck with their current habits. I'm sure you know about this story why you don't need a lid on top of a bucket filled with crabs. Because as soon as one crab tries to climb out, all the other crabs pulls him down. And this is what happens with people as well. The friends and family in your life that you hang out regularly with, the things that they do for fun to relieve stress and discomfort, of course they're gonna influence the things that you do. When I was 12 years old, my family moved us from Philippines to Singapore. They said it was a holiday, but we ended up never going back to Philippines. And finally, after 7 years in Singapore, when my life there is finally settled and I have a girlfriend, I had friends, my family decided to move us again from Singapore to Toronto, Canada. So because of these two very traumatic events in my life when I was 12 and 18, ironically, it actually taught me this skill of taking control of the people around me and my environment. This meant that I was never really attached to people because I've already survived two major events where I had to completely replace everyone in my life and also change my environment. And over the years, as I read more books and studied more successful people that took charge of their lives, I realized that this is actually a very common theme. It's very common for people to leave their hometown, to completely change the people that they're surrounded with, and to change their environment as well. And this usually unlocks a lot of growth spurts in all aspects of life. If your friends are drinking and partying, and you know that it's not really making you happy or healthy, and you know that there are other people who are doing healthier activities that also give you fun and also make them happier and more productive and more creative, and you want to do more of those activities, then you need to befriend those people. You need to become that person that those people also want to befriend. And the reason why I'm in an island is because the activities in this island that people do to have fun is also overlapping with what makes people healthy. So choose the friends, choose the people and the environment you surround yourself with. And if they can hit multiple birds with one stone, meaning if these habits, these activities is fun and also healthy, also makes you grow and learn and help other people, then it's a win-win for everyone involved. I know I was a bit long-winded there. What I'm saying is that even though it's obvious, it's not commonly practiced. Find people and environments that support the habits that you want to have, that support the lifestyle that you want to live. Now, I didn't call these three things as steps because they all happen at the same time. And they're all equally important. And if I'm being honest with you, when I look into my own life, I am obsessed about these three things that I just shared with you. Because it's actually hard to overstate the importance of controlling your habits instead of your habits making you the slave. This is what separates us from lizards and other animals. It is why human beings, we have control over our future. Your habits, the things you do on a daily basis, form your lifestyle. And your lifestyle determine your reality. And I mean internal, your thoughts and your emotions, but also your external reality, the shape of your physical body, how much energy you have, the state of your financial bank account. If you can master habits, both the good and the bad, which is addictions, then you can build your life in every aspect, physically, financially, emotionally, mentally. You can build the life that you want instead of always subconsciously wanting to be living a different life, which is why people take substances and overconsume Netflix and entertainment, because the life they're living is not the life that they want to live. In my own life, I've already gotten rid of alcohol, cigarettes, drugs, self-harm, over-consuming Netflix, and a bunch of other bad stuff that I used to do before. But right now, what I'm really working on is reducing the time I spend worrying about business or scrolling on social media, and I'm replacing that. Remember what I said? You cannot just remove habits, you've got to replace them. I'm trying to replace those unproductive activities with meditation and making sure that I can calm myself and relax my nervous system and optimize my parasympathetic nervous system, aside from just taking naps or sleeping at night. Because I know at the end of the day, this is ultimately gonna make me happier and also gonna increase my output on this world. I am an online coach and I help people build their ideal physique. And if you wanna work one-on-one with me, or you're interested in the details of one-on-one coaching, click on the link below. If you want free resources on how you can transform your lifestyle or your physique or your mindset, the links are also below. And I appreciate you for watching.